Hey, if you see right behind me, I am actually in the center of Tampa, and I'm going to take you through a walkthrough of a house that I think would be a fantastic first-time home buyer one. Because one, we have no HOA, so or CDDs, anything like that, so you have way more control over what your monthly expenses are. Two, fantastic location. We're in the center of Tampa, so 275 is literally a 3-minute drive away. Which, hey, plus there because you can literally go anywhere. And I'm talking like 75, 275 and Fowler is where the exit is. So you're also by what's left of University Mall and whatever they call that now, USF. Of course, you can go downtown to Tampa in less than 20 minutes. Again, normal traffic. We're not assuming any kind of accidents in Tampa. And then also three, because we are in the center of Tampa and everything, this is a great house that you could also have the potential that when you're done with it or you're ready to move up, you can turn it into a rental and have some great passive income with it too. I shouldn't say passive because obviously as a landlord you got to do stuff, but it is a great rental opportunity as well. So if you're looking to get into a first time house and the price is under 350,000. Right now it's listed at 340,000 and it's a 3-bedroom, 2 full bath and it's 1,500 square feet. It's got great bones. The roof was redone, the windows were redone, the water heater is brand new. So let's take a look and see what we got inside. Oh, and by the way, before I forget, because I tend to do this when it comes to these videos, if this is something you like that we're doing, go ahead and give this video a like and subscribe to our channel, because that's really the only way James and I know that people are actually watching is by you subscribing. So really appreciate you guys doing that. Thanks so much. Now let's take a look inside the house. As we walk in the front door, this is our living room. Surprise! Knock that out of the way. Um, Things I notice immediately, we have boob lights. They're clean, they're new. So they definitely did a good job with the renovations that they put in place for this house. All these windows are newer, so even though it's an older home, it is nice that they have those double paned and more energy efficient. The flooring is a vinyl waterproof, and it does have a thicker, I'd say about a 4-inch baseboard that goes around it. Now, this little, what you see around the main light here for the living room, that actually to me looks like the door framing molding that you would get for like closet doors, interior doors, and everything, and they stuck it up for a decor. So if that's something you're not a fan of, I wouldn't worry too much about it. You could easily just pull it down and just throw up whatever kind of accent you would want there. I almost feel like it'd be nice if they did it across the walls instead as a chair railing. So the way this floor plan is laid out, over here is your dining room, kitchen, and then that way is where all the 3 bedrooms are. So really what we're going to see is, how well laid out is this space for, like I said, an entry level first time home buyer. And so far I'm liking what I'm seeing. I did take a quick walk through the house before I started filming just to make sure that everything that I wanted this house to be, like, check the boxes. Because again, when you see photos online, you're never 100% sure that what you see online is what you're going to get. So I was very, very pleasantly surprised that this is exactly what it is. As you can see, the kitchen has a great layout. You're not going to be like bumping into each other as you're cooking and doing dishes. Same thing, they have a window here, but this is actually all enclosed. So this room, we'll go into it in a minute, but it used to be a lanai based on what I'm seeing how it's done. All the cabinetry they updated. This used to be a rental beforehand, so it just looks like they did a great job with taking care of it. We do have a granite for the countertops as well, and it is nice that it has one large sink versus the one that has the little divider in it. The cabinet drawers, let's see if it has a soft close. Haha! When little things like that, it's just so appreciative. And we have a good amount of space in the cabinets. Even here, let me see. I do not see a disposal, so yep, and that confirms it. No disposal. Not like you really need one. Plus, trust me, from the conversations I have with plumbers, they prefer that you don't have them, so it's not a bad idea here. Let's just make sure that we can clear. All right, minor defect here. Not terrible though, because if you look, you do have about at least 18 or so inches of space that you can at least open it up for. But I was just looking at that with how close it was to the stove, and I was like, let me see. But good news, it actually does open. Same here. That's a good amount of space. Stove definitely looks newer. Range, as I said. Oh, that's definitely new. Either that or the last people just never cooked, but I'm going to go with they did. It's new. And we do, oh, no, that one. So this one, I wonder if it's just because it wasn't used a lot. Yeah, let's see. I can't tell. Okay. So they do have the soft close with the top cabinets as well. Now it's funny because being in the kitchen, to me, this is automatically your pantry. However, looking at how they put this in, they took out the other racks. Not a big deal. You could just throw in some extra shelves and then you do officially have your kitchen pantry storage again. But right now, from it just looks like a coat closet stuck in your kitchen. And then, you have your fridge. They did the same thing in here. Like we do have a fluorescent light for the main light for the kitchen. Not bad, but this trim work that they did, they just made it for decoration. Personally, I'm not a fan of it. It looks kind of weird, especially because of how it's just an irregular shape. It's not cohesive. I would just rip it out and leave it as a plain ceiling because the ceiling itself is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. All right, this door takes us to the garage. It does have a one-car garage. Great size for the water heater. Your washer and dryer would actually be out here. Not terrible. That was actually really common. If you haven't been in our area before in Tampa, having it inside in your garage was something that was really, really popular for a while. And there are some homes still today where the washer and dryer are actually outside of the house. So as I said, it was definitely a plus for having it an interior, let alone having it in an air conditioned space. Oh, look, there's a kitty. Hey, kitty. Let's see, I'll just show you. He's staring. Hi. I don't have treats. All right. Side yard. I'd say the biggest thing I'm noticing with this house so far is just the yard needs to be done. Because look, I'm not going to really be able to get back there. I'll take another view from the other side, from the porch. But it does have a really nice fence. Like this actually isn't in bad shape at all. It just needs to be cleaned up. All right, let's go back. Now, if you were my buyer, this looks in great shape. That's a great checkbox in terms of bigger maintenance items that you have to be worried about with a house. This, on the other hand, would be a bit of a safety concern because the screws are loose. This would definitely be something during the home inspection I would just want to be double and triple checked to make sure that it is fixed and corrected. But otherwise, yeah, this is all great so far. We do have an attic space right there. Also, quick note, if you notice, there's actually no garage door opener, an electronic one. Again, not a deal breaker because at least you have a garage that you could use for storage. Obviously, they have their trash in here. But if this is something where you're like, I'm adamant I have to have a garage door opener, it's not the end of the world. This is definitely something where if it's a must have, I would just negotiate as part of the deal. So that way you can get a garage door opener as with your home. Or, of course, you can buy one later. Give it a reason to be able to not pay full price. Definitely ways flexible to make this your house. All right, now we are in, this is like what the den is. Like that was the formal living room. Now we are in the den. I mean, I guess you could technically use this as a dining room too. This space right here next to the kitchen is definitely a dining room. Like I can picture like a nice little bench, L-shaped here with a little, say breakfast nook, but a little dining nook here would be available. But if you didn't want that, you could definitely use this space here, or this could totally be a den for you. Same thing, the windows are newer and completely redone, which is nice. They have the updated double paned. This was definitely original to the house. And what's funny is rather than getting rid of and totally the brickwork, the fireplace itself, they just completely sealed it off. So this is something I would have looked at. Oh, look at that. Oh, let's see if we can see it. Oh. There we go. Try that again. Okay. Almost lost my balance there with my gimbal, but I would just have this double check during the inspection too to see if there's any leaks, exposure. One, because of, air conditioning and, the electricity, but two, critters. I just don't want critters. Yes, I'm one of those people. But we have crown molding, which is nice. The ceilings are in great shape. As you can see with this room, this is the room I was telling you about earlier where it was closed off, but it used to be a lanai. So picture here where this is all drywalled. This was probably a sliding glass door, which is why it was like that. And then they closed it off. So yeah, I'm picture this. This was concrete, and then they had this as a lanai. So that would explain why you have a window from the kitchen looking out here. They did put in another boob light. But as a lanai, this is a great size space. And then they closed it in. Things I'm noticing right away, though, in terms of the square footage of the house, I'm going to have to double check the records on this because it's done really well. This is the same flooring, same paint as everything else that we've seen. However, we don't have any ductwork in here, as you can see. And also, I don't see any kind of window unit for AC. And of course, for square footage purposes, it does need to have heating and cooling going to that space. So obviously leaving that door open would do that, but generally speaking, they want something as far as its own cooling system, heating system into there. And that, I'm really not sure what this is for. I mean, they put it there, but it looks like just some kind of pipe work, pipes. Yeah, not a bad house at all. Ew, ew, is that a spider? I'm not, okay, let me. You know what, I was going to go out there. I'm not doing it anymore. I chickened out. I do that. Okay, so let's do it from this way. Hey. Here we go. Okay, here's the yard because I'm not going near that door. It does have kind of a brick pavered patio, but as you can see, the yard is definitely overgrown. This would be something I would tell them as part of the deal to be like, hey, we want that mowed, cut down, just double check and make sure there's nothing out there that we don't want to see. Here we go. This screen, we can easily get that fixed as well. But all in all, it is a private backyard, and also you see it's fenced in too. Now, none of these fences, it looks like, are owned by this house though. The only one I saw was the chain link fence that was by the front or the side of the house on the garage side. All right, so that is your main living areas. Now we're gonna take you to the bedroom. So again, just a good look around, layout purposes. So far, I'm liking what I'm seeing. Again, from the fact that you're talking about under $350,000, a great, like, well-maintained home that you don't have to worry about walking into and all of a sudden having to invest a lot more money into, it's checking all the boxes. We have a storage coat closet here, which is funny because on the other side of this wall is where the other closet is that went to the kitchen. That was your pantry. So if you wanted a potentially, let's see, something, you would lose that cabinet space. If you wanted to do like a bigger pantry, what I'm thinking, and you're not going to use that space as a coat closet, you can actually bump this out, like keep the door here, but have it where it's a slight walk-in and, it's just like a row going back a ways. That is something you could do. So you can get rid and take the space from the coat closet and make it into your pantry. So it's definitely something, it's an option because the space is right there and it's being used. See? You can just wall this off, open up the little drywall section right there, and you can have a longer, larger pantry for yourself. So just thinking, if that's something you want. All right, now we go to the bedrooms. And look, boob light number 4 now, 4, 5, a lot. All right, bathroom. We do have a vent, which is fantastic. And they redid and modernized. We have our outlet, same flooring, everything. Our shower. And we do have an extra vent too outside of the, haha, that's where it is. Okay. I was kind of wondering because I didn't see it right next to the toilet where it went. But here is your secondary bathroom. This is bedroom number 1, closest to the living room. Crown molding, boob light, number 6 or 5. I'm really gonna go check that out. The closet doors. Oh, okay, that one was off the track, so I'll just put that back. Just kidding. This kind of stuff really does happen when we are showing houses too. Because the expectation is, we're going to see a closet, we want to see how big the space is, because some, would go all the way, and we'll go to move something in front of a customer, and yes, exactly like that, it'll fall off, fall apart, and then we just got to put it back together. Thermostat's newer, which is great. Bedroom number 2, same baseboard, same flooring, paint throughout. Definitely looks like they had just painted this. Boob light. 7. I'm going to say 7. All right, say same thing. Good size for your secondary closets. Let's see. See, that's how it's supposed to glide. It's not a big deal. This should be the HVAC. Surprise! It's not the HVAC. It's definitely over here, though, because that's where your intake is. But you have another linen closet. This goes back into my theory of getting rid of that coat closet if you want a bigger pantry then, because you're not losing linen closet. Just saying. All right. Oh, that explains why that's there then. Okay, we are in the master bedroom. This is the closet for it. See, it is actually much deeper. We're talking a good 3 feet at least inside the shelf. Now, this bump out and step, it's great because now you have a nice landing. You can put all your shoes, but that's for the piping and the ventilation for your HVAC unit. So I'm guessing the exterior unit is, ta-da, right there. It's a good size unit too. It's newer. Same great windows and the sills. And we have a ceiling fan in here. No boob light. Here is the master. You have a nice view of the backyard. There you go. That we are not going to walk into because I don't feel like it. Jungle. All right, and then let's go into the bathroom. Oh, see this frame? Door frame? That is exactly the style of what they have on the ceilings. Case in point, look at that. Oh, it cracks me up. All right, here is the master bedroom shower. It is just a shower stall. Close that. Yeah, it's really great shape. Things that I'm looking for specifically, especially when I'm showing clients houses, like I'm looking for the caulking, how well everything's attached. Is there any cracking? Electrical outlets. Are there any big red flags? Like even if these little plates aren't attached to the wall properly, or if they're cracked, if they're lopsided. Same thing with sinks, cabinets, counters. But all in all, this is a great little house. All right, so that was the master. 3 bedrooms, like I said, 2 full bathrooms. We have the layout's really functional. The only thing, like I said, I'd be worried about is the electrical panel. But otherwise, this would be a really great starter home for somebody. If you're just looking and you're trying to get into it, and we're a really fantastic location in the center of Tampa. So you have a lot of things right around. 275 is literally a 3-minute drive away to get back on the highway. And I'd say also huge benefit for this house is the fact that it's just got great bones. It gives you a lot of flexibility, so you can do whatever you want with the space.